Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for coming in and listening to this video about energy clearing. Now, I'm doing this in response to a question that I had regarding something that I wrote in my ebook. So if you don't have the ebook yet, you can pop over to my website at www.kerynlee.com.au and I'll put that link down below. And the book is called A Practical Guide to Energy Clearing. Now, in this book, I wrote, it's on page 11, The Benefit of Stuck Energies. I wrote this, and I'm going to read the paragraph to you. The key is to be aware of everything as energy so you can identify what action is required. For example, as I'm writing this, I'm sitting in a waiting room while my car is being serviced. I become aware of a pain in the right side of my neck. I perceive that it belongs to an elderly man sitting 2 seats away. I acknowledge this energy and it starts to heat up and move up towards my ear. I'm being given information that the man has a pain in his neck and possibly an ear problem. And in brackets, I put perhaps someone is in his ear and he finds it a pain in the neck. I thank my body for the information and tell it that we're not here to heal people today, nor has this man asked for healing, so please send the energy back. In a healing session, this information is a path to transformation. When I'm out in the world, it's just an awareness of energy. So I've had people ask me, well, isn't that like the universe giving you an indication that you need to heal this person if you feel it in your body? And my answer to that is not necessarily. And this is where discernment comes in. When you're a healer, whether you're a psychic or anything like that, where you're perceiving something about someone else, it's discernment. Not everybody wants healing. And it would be very rude and invasive and very superior of me to just run around healing people just because I perceive an energy in them. So what happened this day was I actually, once I felt this energy and I identified the man that it was coming from, I looked at him and watched him for a moment, and I could tell that his energy was quite shut off. So I kind of knew that he was not going to be receptive to this. But I looked up at him a couple of times. Now, if he had have caught my eye, perhaps a conversation might have started up. And if it did, then I would kind of get a sense of the conversation and whether he was actually receptive to healing or not. And sometimes that can be a door opening, like, yes, I got the information that this man's body's screaming at him. And yes, he is actually asking for healing, but this man this day was not. His energy was shut off. He did not make eye contact with me, and he was, it wasn't the right environment for healing. So there's another example I'd like to give where I was having a phone call with a lady that I'd never spoken to before. And she was telling me to just get to the phone. People had actually had to help her. She had so much pain in her foot. So as she was saying this and talking a little bit about it, I started getting energy hits, like pings of energy, which tells me, perhaps something that's causing it, or I'd pick a belief system or something. Like, I get these little hits of energy that give me information about where that pain's coming from. So at first I just ignored it because, well, not ignored it, but didn't really act on it. I was just aware of the energy and let her talk because we were there for a specific purpose. And then a few more things were said and I offered one piece of information. I think I made a general comment about what that body can relate to, something about moving forward in life or something like that, a very general comment. Well, she was very receptive to that, and she made some comments of her own, which opened up the conversation and actually led to me doing a very quick little healing and actually relieving a lot of pain for her. And in an email she wrote later, she actually thanked me for this and said that her foot had much improved. So that was an example of someone who was open to receiving the energy. She actually mentioned it. She didn't, I don't think she knew I was a healer. No, she didn't know I was a healer before we spoke. So this is an example of one of those random occurrences where she was willing to receive that energy. So my answer to that question is you have to use your discernment, and you never ever assume that just because you know something or perceive something about someone that they actually want that information, because not everybody does. So have an amazing time playing with energy, perceiving energy, starting to become aware of energy, and recognizing when energy does not belong to you. Notice when you're walking through a shopping center, you know, if you feel an energy, if you're with other people, if you're in the car and suddenly get a headache, is that your energy, or are you actually picking up on someone else? These little things can make a huge difference to how you live your life, because you start to realize that not all of it is your energy, and you're actually very aware of what's going on in the world around you. So have fun with energy clearing and energy awareness, my friends, and I look forward to the next time we chat. Bye for now.